Today, my special guest hails from a family of preachers and ministers. He spent over 20 years in Washington, D.C. training and schooling. He recently returned home to the Bahama Islands and is presently the pastor of administration at Golden Gate World Outreach Ministries. Please help me welcome my special guest, Pastor Trent Davis.
Well, good evening to you, Beth. I am excited to be here with you on the show, The Spirit of Wisdom, and I'm prayerful that some of what we share tonight will be nuggets of gold that can help our people become what God wants them to be.
When I thought of education, I thought of you because I follow your posts on Facebook, and your posts are very enlightening when it comes to things that are going on in the public and in the community and even in the church right now. And I said, this is what everyone need to hear about being enlightened and being educated about how we should go about business and ministry and community work. Education certainly makes a difference when it comes to us facing the challenges that this 21st century has brought to our little island and even around the world. How do you feel knowing that you went away and you studied education, and now that you have come back, no doubt I know that you've seen so many arenas where you can apply what you have learned?
I remember, Beth, when I was growing up as a student at Kingsway Academy, we had a debate contest. And the debate was on the subject, does education determine success? And the truth of the matter is that question is still being asked today, but it is being answered by those persons who have made themselves available for some sort of education. I was sharing with the church just a few Sundays back about the difference between talent and skill, and how so many people are talented, and talented is just natural ability. But what makes talent turn to the next level of skill is a level of training, a level of education, and a level of rehearsal and practice. And so for me, education has always been an important part of my life. Starting out at Kingsway Academy and then going off to the College of the Bahamas, then Florida Southern College, and then on to Howard University. My parents instilled in us the importance of education because that was what was instilled in them from my grandparents. So education has always been a big part of my life.
Our conversation with Pastor Trent Davis on education and training continues right after the break. Wisdom aims to impact the world through building strong nations, and we know what a vital role community projects play in this initiative. Therefore, we want to lend a hand. To you non-profit community organizations seeking to make the world of difference right where you are, we want to promote your program on our show. So contact us at spiritofwisdom@gmail.com or connect with us on Facebook. We want to help you to do more. Welcome back to Spirit of Wisdom, where I am alongside Pastor Trent Davis as we continue our discussion on education and training. Pastor Davis, what is the importance of having professionally trained and skilled persons within an organization?
Well, no matter the size of the organization or what the organization is about, it is important, critically important, to have skilled, professionally trained persons on every level. The entire organization doesn't have to have professionals in it, but certainly as a part of the leadership tier, moving the different arms of the organization forward, it is critical. I think in the Bahamas we're blessed because now we have generations of persons that are coming back and taking up their rightful place in our communities who are well educated. There is no sphere of the Bahamian landscape now that does not have qualified people, whether it's medicine, education, whether it's politics, no matter where. Bahamians are well trained and are professionally trained and can do awesome things that will move our country forward. I think it's critical, though, that we address the issues of this low-level report card that we're having national report card grade, because we must now pass the baton on to the next generation. It is critical that we as parents prepare our children, as well as the school systems working hand in hand, to bring about the highest level of achievers, to identify them and to put them on a track towards the kind of success that will allow them to want to not only be successful, but to come back and serve their country on some level that moves the country forward.
When we talk about this national D average, because this is an issue here within the Bahama Islands, this national D average, what should be done within our school system and even in the homes where we can have this national level lifted? Because many persons would argue that there is no one thing that we can pinpoint to say where this D average is coming from. Is it because they're coming from troubled homes? Is it that parents just don't care? Is it that children are not getting the support? What can we do about this D average?
I think in any kind of educational setting, it's a three-pronged approach. Parents must work alongside students, must work alongside teachers and administrators. But I think the central issue that we must face is the mindsets of all of these individuals. We must elevate our thinking. We must want more for ourselves. Teachers must want more for themselves to hold themselves accountable. Parents must want more for themselves to hold themselves accountable as parents. And then certainly that accountability must trickle down to our children. So I think in addition to trying to strengthen the curriculums and getting better trained teachers, making parents more aware of their role of being a continuation of the education that's happening at the school, at the home, and the children taking a hold of their own responsibility as their own personal learners, changing the mindsets of people. And I think that's where our leaders come in from all spheres of the community to help elevate our minds so that we want more. When people are hungry for more, that's when the D average will go higher and move, to C and to B. And is it possible? Yes, it is. Our children are at no deficits. We read, our literacy rates are higher than most countries. It's not that we can't do it. It's just that we don't have the mind to do it. And if we can change and elevate our mindset, certainly I think our national average will go up with that.
When you talk about mindset, should the mindset of our administrators and those who are in charge of putting together these scholastic and academic examinations be broadened? Should we diversify our educational system to encompass those who are academically inclined as well as those who are gifted and talented and skilled in other areas? Should we now have school for arts and trades that are just as supported as the academic?
Certainly. And having come from the educational system in the United States, there were always magnet schools that identified children that were gifted in science, or certainly schools that were gifted in fine arts. And those children had a desire for those things and were around like-minded children. So in some ways we can have those schools, and we've started doing those things. There are magnet programs, for example, at Government High that seeks to support those that are in fine arts. And then there must be still general tracks for children who are undecided. Whether we individualize our schools and make them microcosms of specific learning areas, or if we keep the broader base of what we've had so far, again, it still goes to the mindset of the people that are operating. I think it's important that our leaders stay current, stay relevant. I was listening to the principal of Queens College, and I think what struck me is that over the summer break, there was not only required reading for the children and required reading for the teachers, but even for the administrators. So there, here again, the mindsets of persons that are coming to education is broadened by that. I think the more we are traveled, the more we are exposed, is the better we can improve our system. It's important that our leaders travel and see what systems work and some of the things that can be brought back to us, and then identify the unique strategies and the unique areas within the Bahamas that can help us educationally as well.